Welcome back. So, in the last lesson, we talked about why people don't want to meditate. So I want to spend just a few minutes on why we should and some of the other benefits that it might have. One of the biggest thing is by being aware, and we're going to talk about the checking in and just being in the moment. We understand our pain. And what do I mean by that? I had a great experience when I went to Thailand 2 years ago. And one of the mornings I walked into a temple and I was so proud because, we do this thing called Namaste. And Namaste really means the good part in me sees the good part in you, And Thais do this a lot, And I was so, proud to go and not proud, but I always want them to know that I know how to do this, right? Which is against all aspects of meditation. Okay. Anyway, so it's funny because I did this to a monk, and the monk asked me, "Goes, do you know what that means?" And I said, "Yes, sir. It means the good part of me sees the good part in you." He goes, "Well, that's great, but it also means the opposite." And I said, "What does that mean?" He goes, "Well, it means if you see ugliness in some people, and if you see negative in other people, it's your ugliness that's seeing it." And that really made me think, like when you see pain in other people, it's my pain that I'm seeing, right? So Namaste, seeing good in people and seeing bad in people, is all reflection of ourselves. So I even got into the Namaste even a little bit better, understanding what it really means. By learning how to meditate, we reduce our level of stress. We let go of things and we don't hold on to things too much. We don't make people an offender for a word. I don't know if you heard that concept. That's one of the concepts I try to teach in our black belt classes, is making somebody an offender for a word. Because I'll be talking to a group of, class, and I'll make a joke, and I'll say, "Oh yeah, women do this," or whatever. Make a joke out of something, and all the women in the class shut me down, right? Or at least a couple of them will, because they make me an offender for one word, right? And they just shut me down. Or I used to do that to people when people say, "Oh yeah, well, all Middle Easterns and are like this," or Persians are like this, or Iranians are like this, and my ear would I would pop up like, "What, Iranian? That's me." Then if it was a negative thing, or I choose to listen to it as a negative, I would shut them down, right? Or that would happen with my wife if she would name an ex-boyfriend in a great, beautiful conversation we have. But if she named an ex-boyfriend, I would subconsciously punish her by shutting her down from then on. So which meant I made her an offender by one word, right? And that's part of the thing. By doing meditation and finding out what's really important to us, we can let go of that and not make people an offender for one word. We connect better with people. If you're aligned in yourself, you connect much better in much more of a sincere level. You don't have to necessarily go through superficial strategies to meet someone. You can just be a little bit more honest, and I'm sure you come across people, and being genuine and real as a little child. Like if a kid doesn't want to come to you, they're really heavy. But if they want to come to you, they're so light, right? There's such a being genuine, something so pure about that I think by meditation and getting rid of some of the stuff that we hold on to, that opens up to other people. We reduce our brain chatter, which means, remember, same thing about listening and being here in the moment, is that our mind wants to be everywhere, and we want to be able to control that, so our mind doesn't go everywhere, right? And we'd be able to listen better. As you know, there's many different types of listening, right? I mean, as a professional as me and you are, I always ask people, how many years of training have you gone through learning how to write? And people say, 12 years, or I still do it, How many years of professional training, learning have you had how to read? And they're like, all my life. And I ask them, how many years of professional learning have you had in listening? And they have no answer, right? Because we're not trained how to listen. And that's one of the things in martial arts we want to really get into, is allowing people to listen and teaching them how. As you know, there's many different types of listening. Like one of them is called ignoring, And some of you might be doing that right now with me. So we look like, oh yeah, we're there, but we're totally ignoring. Number two is, like, another way is selective. We select the things like what I do with my 5-year-old, right? You kind of select the things, you want to listen to. Then there's other types of listening where you try to be a junior psychologist, like you try to probe it out of them. So if my wife says, oh, I had a bad day, you're like, oh, really? What happened? Tell me what happened. Why did she say that for? You try to probe it out of people, which is not necessarily the healthiest way to listen. There's other ways where I get to read my own home movies to you. So if you come to me and say, oh yeah, my wife does it, oh my God, my wife does the exact same thing, right? I try to push my own agenda, my own home movies to you, And but I think the most powerful way is empathic listening, where I get to listen with no intention and no intent to reply. Like, I'm not even thinking about what I'm going to tell you afterwards, but simply just listen. And to me, that's what true martial art is, right? I'm listening by my eyes and ears, the way you move when you're in front of me. I don't think about anything. I don't think about what I'm going to do. I'm going to think about what you're doing, right? And my body, hopefully through my training, will do the right thing to it. So that's what empathic kind of listening kind of brings that. So I think, but one of the things I want to kind of leave you with, and why we should meditate, is, and kids these days get that more, because some questions simply cannot be answered by Googling them anymore. As much as we think we Google answer for everything, some questions cannot be Googled. And those are the questions that we want to get to ourselves, and spend time with ourselves. So those are, I think, some of the benefits of why we should learn and share this beautiful art of meditation.